We were just watching, well, coming up on the other side of the road. It might be obvious, it might not be from the camera, but even it'll be obvious on this side is that the line demarcating the shoulder of the road, which is not very wide, is very white, so it's just being painted. And we just encountered coming up on the other side the vehicle painting that particular line, and so it moves at a very slow pace, 12 kilometers an hour, from what one of the guys in the following vehicles told us. But following that vehicle was like a big Ford Transit or something bigger than that even, with you know, a big orange arrow flashing saying keep to the right of this vehicle. And that was probably 200 meters more behind the vehicle that was doing the painting. So the vehicle doing the painting's got a whole lot of signage on it, arrows flashing, orange lights flashing, and it's a big vehicle. On the back it says road marking. Big digital light board saying road marking in progress. Then behind that is this other vehicle where this guy just stopped and chatted to us quickly. And his role is just to drive a vehicle behind that one, indicating keep to the right because up ahead there's something on the road. Then about half a kilometer behind him is yet another one of them, doing nothing other than driving very slowly with an arrow flashing saying keep to the right, something up ahead. And then about another half a kilometer behind that is a massive truck doing nothing other than got lights all over it, orange lights flashing, and a big sign on the back saying road marking ahead, and a big arrow flashing. So to paint this line on the road takes 4 big vehicles, 2 massive trucks, you know, I'm talking 3-ton and up trucks doing that, and 2 others, like I said, big panel van, Ford Transit kind panel vans, bigger than that, with all these lights on it. And that's 4 drivers driving, you know, one driver driving each of them. You've got to say, well, this is my question. Why isn't there a 5th vehicle saying, look, there's 3 other vehicles on the road ahead causing a hazard. You need to be aware. And behind the 5th vehicle, why isn't there a 6th one saying, oh, there's 5 other vehicles on the road causing a traffic hazard, you need to be aware. And this is the kind of stupidity we've reached in these countries like Australia, like the UK, like Europe, like America, where occupational health and safety has just gone mental. It's lost the plot. And I want to hear from the committee, because it can only be a committee, what the justification and the motivation, the cost motivation is to do this, to have these vehicles manned on at least minimum wage, probably much more, I'm sure about that, doing nothing, just driving along behind someone, one guy who could do this quite safely because of all the lights on his vehicle, without any other vehicles in tow. But here we have it. It is mental. We cannot, as a nation, continue to go down this road. This is unions creating work for the sake of work in the name of occupational health and safety. It does nothing to advance occupational health and safety. I want to hear this argument for it. I want to hear the argument. All it's doing is creating sheltered employment and pushing the cost up of these roads to everybody. To everybody. So our taxes go up, license fees go up, fuel taxes go up to help fund roads. Everything goes up so that we can have full employment of people who are quite capable, I'm sure, of doing something a little more productive in their day. And but this is where we've got to. And we think, as a nation, that we're going to compete against countries like China, Vietnam, Indonesia, Korea, India, Malaysia. It's just not going to happen. It's not on. Because they won't do this. And they won't do it for very good reason. Because it's not bloody necessary. It just isn't. And please, someone watching this, come to me with the argument that supports for. I've seen this exact same scenario for guys cleaning up garbage and, you know, stuff that's been thrown out of cars off the side of the road on the M7 motorway in Sydney. The same thing. These guys are working on the other side of the Armco barrier, so that's protecting them. They've got their vehicle, which has got lights flashing deluxe on it, and then they've got 4 other vehicles behind them. On top of that, what happens is they slow the traffic down. On a 100 kilometer an hour motorway, they slow it down to 40 kilometers an hour, so you've almost got to get out your car and push it past these idiots who are just picking up rubbish. And they've got an Armco barrier protecting them already. And we wonder why everything costs so much, why we pay these ridiculous toll fees on every road that we get to ride on. It's just a joke. It is a joke, and I challenge someone to come up with a justification that makes any sense other than offering employment to people who might otherwise A, be unemployable, B, are just lazy, don't want to do anything too demanding, or C, take advantage of this nanny state that just decides we're going to employ people to protect people who are protecting people and protect those people who are protecting the people protecting the people. When does personal responsibility step in here and say, you're picking up garbage on the other side of the Armco barrier, don't step over onto the road without first looking. And they're wearing all their high vis and their hard hats and you name it. So, oh God, it drives me mental, as you can hear. Here we go again. Here's the road painting crew spraying the stripe on the other side of the road. So let's count the vehicles. And let's not forget, they're moving at 12 kilometers an hour. So the dude yesterday told me. So I suppose it needs a steady hand in that vehicle. to do this. But on the back of it, it says end of road work. Let's turn around. There you go. End of road work. And then coming up here is a vehicle. This looks like a ute with a big arrow on it. Yeah, so this is like a Hilux or a Mercedes Vivo by the look of it. And so this is the second vehicle. We'll count them.
Alright, you're on a downhill run now, young fella.
Thank you, mate. I need it big time. Thank you, mate. All the best to you.
Enjoy.
See ya. That's nice to know. A downhill run. Oh, that's more encouraging than someone saying, oh, there's a few hills ahead of you, mate. So I'll take a downhill any day. It is easier pushing right now, having crested that little brow. These hills are nothing like, obviously I experienced before Dubbo, all the way almost. Every so often you'd be hit with a hill of some distance that was really sharp and it would just take it out of you. Whereas here, they're draining, they work you, but they don't kill you like those other hills. Alright, so that was number 2. I can see number 3 up ahead, about 1 kilometer down the road. There's the next service vehicle with its arrow, and it's a full kilometer and maybe a bit behind the other one, which makes you think, why? Sure, that vehicles are traveling along here at 100 kilometers or 110 kilometers an hour, but why? And so that's the second safety vehicle, the third vehicle doing this. I do see another vehicle down the road with headlights on, and I'm convinced that it's part of this crew as well. We'll see when we get down there. Here's the third service vehicle coming up. So that's 4 vehicles all up to paint a line down the road. And he's just got a worker's roadworks badge on the back kind of thing. And it might not be over yet. We'll see. Anyway, I'll turn this off for the time being. But it just goes to show. There's 4 people being paid. There's 4 vehicles on the road. And 1 stripe being painted. Oh wait, there's more. Look at the size of this thing with an arrow on it. And yes, it's got line marking ahead, reduced speed. This massive truck, sure, it might be carrying some materials in it, but so 2 big trucks and 3 small vehicles. 5 vehicles, all up. 5 people being paid, not 4, like I said earlier. 5 vehicles, the running costs of those things, the fuel, not to speak of New South Wales, the carbon footprint you're leaving, painting 1 line on the road like this. You've got to be kidding. How many black balloons are floating up into the atmosphere on this stretch of road alone because of your line painting? Paint the lines, but use just one truck, for God's sake. That's all that's needed. I haven't got 4 vehicles behind me with arrows. You've got to be kidding me. How does this happen? The unions must pay some research organization, I'm sure this is how it works, to come up and say, no, if there's only 2 vehicles or 1 vehicle, there's a much higher risk of accidents arising from them being surprised by this 1 vehicle doing 12 kilometers an hour. So we'll put another vehicle behind it. Guess what? That's also doing 12 kilometers an hour, to warn the vehicles coming from the back that there's a vehicle traveling at 12 kilometers an hour. And wait, but that one's at risk of causing an accident driving at 12 kilometers an hour. So we'll add another vehicle traveling at 12 kilometers an hour. But wait, that one's also at risk. So we'll add another. And then what? Yes, indeed. That one's also at risk. So we'll put another massive truck, the size of the one that we're worrying about in the first instance, and we'll hang that off the back, traveling at what speed? 12 kilometers an hour. And this makes the whole lot so much safer. I want to meet union officials. I honest to God want to. I want to look into their eyes to see if there's any sign of intelligence, or if it's just self-serving, power climbing, vote grabbing, people appeasing, jobs creating, cells working behind those eyes. There cannot be much intelligence. That I'm sure of. And they will credit themselves with all sorts of intelligence. If they are intelligent, then they are liars and manipulators. So they must choose. Either they're thick as pig shit, or they are outright liars and manipulators. And I know what I'm going for. I know what I'm going for. Over to you. Think about it.